This sauce begins with a student, Otsuka, thanking a teacher, Futagawa, for lending her an umbrella for the rain yesterday, even though they don't know each other. She asks him if he is always around the chemistry preparation room. Fast forward in time, the next couple of panels show the two of them talking. Futagawa says she visits him too often, but she says it's because she wants to talk to him. Spending time with him lets her forget about her worries. Eventually, they grow close enough and kiss, with Otsuka confessing her feelings to him after. On a later day, she is teasing him, and he says to stop this because somebody could walk in and see them. She says not to worry because the door is locked, and it's after school, so nobody will walk in. Otsuka has been repeating the teasing for the last few days, and in a flashback to when she was confessing her feelings to him, she says to let her love him until she graduates. She doesn't care if he turns her down because she couldn't hold in her feelings for him. The next day, it's shown that she is getting more touchy with him, and by the next few days, she is really getting more comfortable with him. It eventually escalates to her touching the juicer. She even pulls it out and starts playing with it, but Futagawa tells her to stop, so she does. However, she keeps repeating this activity and continues teasing him. One day, he's sitting at his desk thinking that he wants to erase the memories from his brain, and he falls asleep. When he wakes up, he finds that he's right in front of Otsuka. He's surprised to see her, thinking that she went home. She entices him further, and they finally do Doujin things. Afterwards, he wakes up and finds out it was just a dream. He thinks to himself that he needs to keep it together and needs to make sure she stays away from him from now on. The next day, he tells her that they have to stop seeing each other, and she says that she still wants to see him. He changes his mind, saying that graduation isn't too far away, so she'll be gone by then. It cuts to them doing Doujin things, and he asks her why she's doing this. She says it's because he's being really distant from her. He hasn't looked at her once and is acting weird. He says she's imagining things, but she confronts him, speculating that he's been thinking about her. She guesses close enough to get a reaction out of him and hugs him, saying he's the only person she can talk to. Futagawa reaches out, but hesitates, eventually putting a hand on her head and apologizing. She says he's too kind and pushes him over, saying that as a teacher he should stop this, but isn't. They do Doujin things, and during it he thinks about how she says she likes being around him because she struggles hanging out with other students. He wishes she didn't like him because as teacher and student, he cannot reciprocate her feelings. Afterwards, the Doujin part turned out to not be real and all in his head. It turns out that in reality, right before the Doujin part, he stopped her, saying that if she's going to do this, then she should just leave. They both look extremely sad, and the next day Otsuka apologizes and says she got carried away, and Futagawa apologizes for yelling. She begins to say it's best if she doesn't come back, but he interrupts her and says he can only see her as a student, but will go along with her desires until graduation. However, if she overdoes it, he'll get mad. He's doing this because it's her favorite place to be, and she hugs and thanks him, saying he's really kind. However, he doesn't see himself as kind because he's just thinking of excuses to not accept her feelings so he can keep his image as a teacher. He calls himself a coward. She points out that it's raining and kisses him. On Valentine's Day, Otsuka is giving Futagawa handmade chocolate. He's impressed with the quality of the chocolate, and she says it's her first time making some. She replies by saying she wanted to make him happy, to which he says she tried too hard. She doesn't want to have any regrets and picks up a piece, holding it with her teeth. She pulls her face closer towards him, and he backs away, saying he'll eat it on his own. Suddenly, Otsuka pulls him in and kisses him, giving him the chocolate. She asks if it tasted good, and he says yes, and Otsuka says her gift for White Day better be 3 times as good. He says she'll graduate before White Day, so that's too bad, to which she says she wants her gift now. She pulls out the juicer and does Doujin things. Afterwards, she says she's glad she got his white chocolate and hugs him. He tells her to get off, but she suddenly gets serious and asks to stay by his side a bit longer, saying she won't tease him anymore. Later, in the hallway, she's walking away, happy with herself. She's happy that she gave her chocolates to him and got her White Day gift on the same day. However, she suddenly realizes that it's her last Valentine's Day with him and starts crying. She's annoyed with herself for crying and thinks that she needs to stop hoping for more and expect less because she knows what she hopes for won't come true, but at least she can graduate without any regrets. On graduation day, after the ceremony, the two of them are doing Doujin things. To keep up his image of being a teacher, Futagawa ignored his feelings to prevent this. Otsuka says that even if starting tomorrow they can't be together, everything will work out. In a flashback, Otsuka shows up at his room. She catches him playing games on his phone, saying he has too much free time. He says the one with too much free time is her, coming to his room after school every day. She simply says it's because she wants to see him. He says that she doesn't have to attend class anymore and that her college has been decided, so why spend her free time coming here? She says it's most fun to show up here at this time. He argues that she should at least attend her own class if she's going to come to school, and she says he's being mean. She wonders if it's going to rain, and Futagawa asks if she brought her own umbrella. She says that she'll never make that mistake again, and he notes that she gets happy on rainy days. She replies that she likes the rain, remembering the moment when the two of them met. He knows the reason, and she goes back to talking about her class, saying they're so boring and that no one's interested in her. She doesn't care about them either and says this is where she belongs. They kiss, and she says she loves him. She then pulls out the juicer and teases him. She says there are probably rumors about their relationship, but nobody will look into it because it's someone else's business. They finish, and she leaves. He notices that it's raining, but she still seems sad. The next scene is the graduation day, and Otsuka still comes to his room. He says she didn't have to come, but she said because it's the last day she had to. He's relieved to not have someone noisy around anymore. He says it's a shame that it's raining on graduation day, but she says that whenever it rains, she's reminded of when they met, showing a flashback of when they first met. She says he saved her by giving her a place where she belongs. This is their last time seeing each other, and it'll be lonely. So she makes some straightforward, bold advances. He's still hesitant, but she insists, saying it's their last time seeing each other. Suddenly, some students outside try to open the door, looking for Otsuka. They were hoping she would sign their good luck flag. They start wondering about why Otsuka and Futagawa hang out so much if he's the second grade teacher, suggesting that the two have to be dating. They say Futagawa looks like someone who'd get into a relationship with a student, but it can't be because Otsuka doesn't seem like that type of person, which is ironic because in reality it's the other way around. The students leave, and for the first time, Otsuka and Futagawa go all the way in Doujin things. Every previous time before this has been Otsuka playing with the juicer, so this is the first real time. Afterwards, she says the rain isn't stopping and asks him to keep being a reliable teacher. Suddenly, he grabs her arm and is about to say something when the chapter ends. If you enjoyed the recap, you can see the uncensored version on my Patreon. If you want to support me in other ways, I've opened these two options. Thank you for watching. On to the sauce. The title is called Sensei, Tsukidesu, by Mashiro Shirako. This video goes over Chapter 3, a side story, and Chapter 1 in that order, because Chapter 3 takes place first. Side note, this is the first time I've ever seen in the comments multiple people posting a watch order for a Doujin series.